The recording link in Discord. There we go. That's it. We are there. So welcome. Sorry. Welcome to this session. My name is Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just turned 5:30 in the morning on a Friday for me. This is the last 24-hour period of this trading week. Let me just share screen. And I'd just like to, this is just a welcome to the live Forex analysis session. This is a disclaimer or disclosure statement just at the front of the session so that people are aware that there are risks and potential profits from this. Okay, and let me just show you my feed trader. There are 3 trades here that I've only just placed. A couple of buyers and sell out. And we'll, and there's all these other trades. So these 3 trades stopped out now overnight, and I'll show you what's happening with them. Okay, and stop sharing there. Go across over into TradingView. Okay. So we'll just go through these, through these 3 pairs to start with. So this is one that this is KJ. I was in this for a sell, and because the trend bar had changed color, it would have been for this. No, so that's what I got in the trade over there. It came down. I really should have been out of the trade, in the trade, out of the trade, into the trade. I had moved my stop loss to break even plus. So when it came up here, would have been last night or wherever it was, it actually stopped me out, but still, slight profit. So I didn't lose anything on it. I just just crazy didn't change in relation to this on the trade. We're on the 3-hour as well. KJ. If we go down now and into UJ, this is the one there was some crazy news, whatever, in New York last night. And this as well. I was in this for sell. I really should have changed this at the start of the week because it kept moving up. I felt it might come to this point and then back down. But, hey, that was a considerable loss on that one. I had to stop loss up here above this high. That's okay. It is continuing up. It's challenging this high here, potentially to break it and then come back down. So just going to closely watch the ribbon. And when the ribbon changes color, I'm out of the trade. I still, I have a safety stop loss as well down here, but, it's for me now to monitor the trend bar much more closely. Right? So there's those, and this was ACAD, which I'm still feel we're we're going to be sell, but that's what it did at New York Open. Spiked up, took me out. So stop hunters, came back up, and then basically dropped back out again. Okay. And you sort of can't do anything about that. Cannot do anything. Good morning, Glenn. It's only us at the moment. So anyway, let's go through maybe some other pairs of what we're doing. So I'll go through all the others. AUD USD. This is still playing around at the moment. This was again a stop hunt. Oh, welcome, Alistair. So still in this trade, didn't get stopped out. Let me just have a look. Sorry, and just see where is that? Hang on. Oh, there it is. What am I doing? Crazy. So, yeah. I hadn't moved that stop loss. So I have now. Well, you can't see it, but anyway, I've moved my stop loss down to just above that spike. Yeah. So if there is any other spikes, there's still all of that in there, which will be, what is there? Hi, Darren, how are you? It's still like 190 pips, so up still. So that's where that one is. Who's back over? Yeah. So that. Now, what I want to do is we'll have a look at these other AUDs and see where they're at, because they're all going sideways at the moment for some reason. I don't know. That was when the rates stayed on hold, so pushed down. Now it's accumulating across on the 3 hour. So I'm in a AUD CAD for a sell. I still think the AUDs are weakened against lots of other currencies. I mean, it doesn't mean they won't pull up. I mean, you see this sort of. Do we know what that news was? Not that it matters much, but I think. US. Yeah, okay. Right. So it was unemployment claims and also CPI. Wow, that would have been big news. Yeah. So that's basically what spiked it against any of the US currencies there. We've got some GBP coming up. And US PPI as well tonight. Okay. So there could be some more movement around in that as well. Okay, no worries. Let's go back here. Still moving in this direction. Anyway, AUD CHF. Again, also to get rid of some of these, sorry. Still looking at this to sell out as well. You can see it's still a push. You could always do this. And looking for a breakout from that box. Same with this sort of Yeah, get rid of that now. You don't really need it. It's just creating a bigger push over the last few days. They're also going sideways. So you can either commit into and am I? No, not in this. No, not in this trade. Anyway, I don't know why that line's there, but if you had it got in there, it would be still okay. I'm just going to take that off so it's not confusing for me anyway. So you can see how that has just gone down, like it would have been good to get into that, up through that consolidation and back down. The price is still just tumbling away. Now, it doesn't mean it won't do a push up like that at any point, but at the moment we have a red ribbon or red trend bar. After that spike, still a red. Now, whether you want to, get in for this or these, it's a little bit choppy at the moment, so you may want to stay out of that. But it'll either do one of two things, it'll break up or down. So you just need to work out what you want to do from there. And if you look at the daily, it is still red, red, red. Right? And if we go to there, and we have a bigger look, at that, you can see it's been down here. Not to say it will, but it is still diving down. So at some point we'll get a turn and it'll come back up again, but it doesn't look like it's sort of anytime necessarily soon. Okay. So just look at higher time frames.
It's right. Hi, Brian. It's
Yeah.
right on Tom's curve.
Yeah.
It's right
so
on.
It could
it's
turn.
A bit arbitrary, yeah.
It could turn. I mean, it is sort of going sideways, but I mean, when you took it, you can do a couple of things. One, you could get into a trade and you could stay out of a trade. But if there's going to be any continuation, I mean, you can see there's a couple of direction change candles. If it is and it turns green, well, then you're into a buy. But you can see there's a little buy there and a little buy up there. The rest of it really is all sell out. So if you come back to the 3 hour, you can decide what you want to do. But I'm just giving you a sort of an insight to it. Big drop, pull back up, drop, pull back up, play around, and again, it'll push either way. And it may be related to a news thing. It may just be sitting there because they just think. AUD JPY, we'll look at that. This is definitely currently at the moment with the trend bar in a buy. Depends on how far it may continue to do that. It's been 1, 2, sort of 3 days already now. So whether you want to look at that, I haven't got into this trade. I mean, when it changed there, you could have got in at any point here. I mean, if you look at it, what do we got? For a long position, it got in even just there somewhere. And you could put your stop loss down here. Where price is now is only 1.6. The point is there are other opportunities here for you to get in for another, or you could have got out of that trade and back in again. Yeah. Anyway, depends on the way you want to play it. AUD. I just don't trade AUD NZD. Just just because of the craziness of it. AUD Singapore, that also is sitting flat at the moment. So a lot of them will do, when they move off, they'll all sort of move off in the similar direction. So AUD USD, as you can see, again going sideways at the moment, ready for either a push up or back down. Okay, so that's the AUDs, and I am in both of these, CAD and USD. So, and I'm in commitment for sell on both of those. Yeah. Okay. CAD CHF, not looking at that to trade. I don't tend to trade that. You're okay. Now the CAD-J we already spoke about. Get knocked out, but this is in a buy. You could either get into a buy or not. It's up to you. You've got to wait until, or you wait for a sell. Now it depends on what's happening though on the daily. What's the daily? That's in the buy. Yeah. So buy and sell, buy, sell, and buy. It is going up at this point. So it could, on the 3 hourly, it could quite easily break this high over here. That's why I'm still in a, well, I got knocked out of the sell into a buy. Yeah. Anybody else is in this trade? Glenn has said a couple of things. Sorry.
Yes. CAD and NZD JPY. It's sort of jumping up a little bit, but it's been sort of sluggish a little bit, I'd say.
Right. No, you're not in it. Okay, no worries.
Yeah, yeah.
You are. Sorry, I meant to say.
Yeah.
Glenn. That's okay, because I'm looking at the messages. Yeah. No. Oh, so Glenn, so you got smacked this week, 0 out of 5. You had 5 trades and all 5 got stopped out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I suppose the market this week is. So were you were following the trend bar with them? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Right. Rightio. But the market, okay. Rightio. And how? And they were relatively tight stop losses. I know you're not complaining. That's okay. I understand that. It's like it depends on the stop loss, or were they relatively sort of packed out? A spike, yeah. Okay. So we can't do anything about that sort of stop hunting spiking. I mean, yeah, no, yeah, you understand. Okay. Yeah, like you look at some of these, the spikes have been, or the wicks on candles have been pretty dramatic over some of the time this week, particularly, like you look over here last week or whatever, and you look at some of these candles, pretty small. Oh, that's a large bit. Like look at the wick on that one. Like look at that. Craziness. Then as you got through the week and it was pushing up, look at the wicks on that, really small. So it just depends on where you're in on them. Okay, CHF JPY. I mean, that's pushing up as well. All right, we'll just see whether you stay in or out. You've got to work out what's it doing on the higher time frame. We have a look. It's pushing up. All right. So do you get, if you hadn't already got into a buy there, do you get into the buy? And if you're in the buy and it does this little one red candle and you look over here and it's all green, you would stay in. Yeah. Unless you get lots and lots of red candles anyway. But, your stop loss would be packed out anyway. Okay. So this is, yes?
But I mean, that was quite an interesting move. That dumped us right down into my order block 1 a.m. last Friday.
Back here?
Yeah.
Came
chugging down.
Yeah, and then just pushed back up again. And matched, and then came out, matched, pulled back down, and then came up, broke it.
It's like you say, it's going to come back. It did.
It's going to come back.
Not
That's
all the
right.
time,
but
yeah,
look, it came back and just sort of matched out the bottom here.
It, yeah. It's right in
and then pushed back up. But that happened over 3 days, though.
Yeah, it wasn't instantaneous.
No. So you look at this after and you go like, oh my gosh, how quick was that? But like that was 3 days. It's like ho hum, Like once it sort of had moved that and changed there, you would be out. Particularly like if you were in the buy there or out there, in there, out there, in there, out there. Like there's a lot of movement until you get this sort of push. So I'm monitoring these a lot more closely. So at the moment, like this one, CHF JPY, it would have been nice to get in a few days, the start of the week, like on Monday. But I don't normally get in. You could have got in here where it pushed back up again. Like this was on Wednesday. So it's just some of these opportunities where you don't know because you're looking at it. You're looking at it there. Pushes up, down, and then starts again. So that would have been a good opportunity. And really you're low down here. Sorry?
I mean, I am sort of doing a bit of a test on my 2 a.m. line, but that one started its move coming back up to it, didn't hit it. But our time 4 a.m, and then it just dropped away. And,
but even at that, like even if you didn't, and on Wednesday, like I don't normally trade on the Monday. So if you see that push, I mean, you could have got in it. You could have got in it in here somewhere, even and even when the pullback, it wouldn't. Like for example, if you got in there. And you didn't even see that bit, and then you put your stop loss, down here somewhere, you're still, doing okay at this point. There's a second opportunity there. Once that push back up, you get into the trade again. I mean, that's what I'm sort of talking about. Anyway, there's an opportunity here now, even. See that pullback here, and now it's pushing back up again. And one of the things, remember what Tom was saying though too, when you get a big gap, see the gap in here? Notice these gaps. See the gap? What did it do when it started to push away from the trend line? Pull back down. Yeah, and then it went along, and then it's created a gap, pushed back down again, up. It's created a gap here now.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So, to get into this trade right now, I'll have a look at this again mid-morning, and see whether it's what it's done at this point, whether it pulls down or not. But it might not be until London or New York or whatever it is, but have a look at this. That's one. I've got a purple on that to go look at, which are ones I'm not in trade. So the red ones I'm in trades for sells. The purple ones are on my watch, and blue ones are in buys. Yeah. So hang on, we'll just go back. So where are we? Oh yeah, we are. We're up to your AUD. Sorry. Right now, better get rid of all that. Now, Euro AUD. I'm not in that. Okay, so I'll need to. Now, if you look at the euros, there is some of this muck out of here too. They're probably trades that I was. Right. So where prices now pushed up back, you know, over the last, what's this, Monday there. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this is Thursday, it's going to go into the Friday. So it has continued, but it's, you know, it's done these spikes again, all these stop hunts. So if you didn't get in here and you got in somewhere here, for example, you potentially going to be, you know, in a way it's going sideways on you. So I'm going to put this on and we'll see which way it will break. So I'm not going to sort of get in. Yeah, fair value gaps. Yeah. Seems largely on consolidation entries. You're right there, Glenn. So maybe not at the moment. Like it's better off keeping out of these trades and just waiting until they start to do their move and we start to get the momentum in the actual trend again, because you want these sort of moves, not these like in a trade, out of trade, in a trade, out of a trade, you know, like it's not the way to go. Now, Euro CAD.
You do forget, looking on this 3 hour though, how big these candles are.
Oh yeah, they are. They're big, aren't they? Yeah.
You don't,
I mean,
you know, you just get used to you're used to them, but they're, you know,
it's nearly 50 pips in a candle.
I know.
Yeah. And this, you know, look at that one. From the bottom up to the top, there's 130 pips in one 3 hour.
Oh, look at the red one on the left. That's the baby.
Mental. Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice drop. So at the moment, just using, you know, market structure where it is, down back up, and like you could go like, oh, okay, we'll put a fib on where, you know, like that's up to the 71, right? Or it was, and 71, 78 and back down. Whether that's relevant for this, I mean, you could look at it and say, oh, okay, are we going to go into sell? You look into you look at the daily, you know, it's done the sell, it's in the buy, it's pushing up, it doesn't do that. If you have a look at it, it has been in uptrend here. It's now spiked, but it's actually come down lower than that. Is it now ready to pull back down? I mean, it is a higher low, so this could continue up, break that left just here and continue up, but maybe not break that on its way. You just work out whether you want to be in this trade or not from that sort of point of view. I'm not here to tell you to do it. I do my own trades, but it's what you want to at this point. And what you've got is a green trend on the daily, and that's the longer term. So each one of those last couple of days have been a nice push up. Yeah. So whether that continue, whether you're going to wait, whether it's, you know, going to go into a sell, you can work that one out. Maybe I haven't updated these. CHF, same. Went into buy, did that little sell, went into buy again. Very similar sort of thing. Not in that as well. Euro GBP, I tend to keep out of. You can trade it if that's what you. Well, actually, it's probably one to watch. Euro JPY. That has done a very nice push up this week. Yeah. And look at it. Broken that high and that high, broke through and just keep going. So at some point, this is going to pull back down like it did there or there or there, or, you know. Not in that one either. Euro NZD. Again, look at that. Push back up as well. Wow. So it's broken back over here, 27th of April, and just kept pushing. All right, Euro Singapore. I don't know if anybody trades. I trade Singapore. But again, nice green, but it tends to, look, it's flattening out there. 3 hours. It's pulled back down a bit, but that could have just been news. We'll see. Can have a look at this on market open into Sydney for the last day. Euro USD. This has been a real, oh yeah, look at the news there. And then went into sell. Anybody in this trade or in this pair? Because a lot of people trade the.
Yeah, no.
No, okay. Still doing it on the daily because I don't really monitor that much. Oh, right. See how we've got one green here and it's spiked up way up here and back. So whether that now is the change on the daily. So this might be a nice, depends when this changes to green here, it might be a good option to get in for a buy on that based upon the daily. You need to work that one out. GA, you can see it's pushed up. It seems to be turning. We've got a red on here, right? So it might be a good idea to look at this potentially for some sell after it's, but then it has been pushing up for a long period of time. Well, relatively long anyway. So maybe not the sells might not be the place to get in here. Well, it may be ready for, if you get a green on the 3 hour, depends on how far you feel this is going to, if it's going to continue up. Because once it's done that pullback, if it doesn't break down here from the structure, then it's more likely to push back up again.
That one did a big half, well, UK half past one news
move
ahead of drop.
Yeah, you can see there. But that did a push back up again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all gone back up. Yeah.
Yeah, it dropped. Well, that's Asian into. So that's all of Asian. Then if I turn, hang on, we'll just go there. If I just turn these trend bars off for a minute, to see that was a big push up at London. And then at New York, it pulled back down again, pushed up, like that was the news in that sort of area. You got to look at what each candles, there's going to be push-ups and then pull back down again. But it's basically a push down. I want to get this nice push back up. So I want to wait for this trend bar to change green. when it does, I'll get into it for a buy. GA, and then if I go down, look, GN. Oh, GN's just doing this sideways for the last week. Since Monday. Well, Monday did it push, Monday to Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. And what's it? Yeah, see, it's still pushing up on the daily. Green primarily. So wait for a breakout on this one. I'll put a box on there. Yeah. That was that. Let's go GBP CAD, which actually I'm in that for a sell. Let's stay in that just at the moment. I'm going to see, because I'm going to have to start to look at some of these ones like they were down here and it's really pushed back. Let me just have a look. Hang on a minute. Is it GCAD? Yeah, GCAD. I'm just going to move that stop loss. Down a little bit further. So I've got it wherever that stop loss is now. It's sort of sitting down here, roughly, from entry, wherever it was up here somewhere. Where's my entry on that? GCAD. And it's back in the 19th. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. Not that one. I'll get rid of that out of there because I haven't. So it's still down here. What I need to do is if this turns green on me, I'm going to have to work out whether on the daily, whether it's pushing back down or up, and then whether I get out of this trade. Anyway, I'm just monitoring things a lot more on it now. That's the GCAD. This one I'm watching. Look at it. It's just sideways. It's in a sell at the moment. If anybody wanted to, but I think it's just, yeah, there's a lot of sideways movement. So GBP, that is buy, isn't it? I'm not in that trade though. I am in Singapore though for a sell. We'll have a look at that one. And sell's okay at the moment. What I should do is move that as well, which I'll do. There we go. And since I've got in that trade, it did a really nice drop, but it's just like been going sideways at the moment. And there have been so many opportunities in there for additional trades, which I haven't taken. Okay. Oh, hang on, we'll go back to there. So that now is hitting there somewhere. And I'll look at the end of this week, whether I close out some of those or profit out. I'm up like 22% or something at the moment overall. And GU, yes, I'm in this. Right. And the GU there. Need to bring that stop loss down as well. So this stop loss is now down here somewhere. So that was entry up there. Okay. So it depends. This is still in that sell at the moment. What's it doing on the, yeah, you can just see it's still sell on the daily. So still in that one. NZD CAD, I'm in this as well. And potentially, see, I haven't got where my stop loss is. Was this NZD CAD? Well, I'm going to move that too. Roughly down there somewhere now. So entry to be in profit and whatever that is. Okay. Now NZD CHF, I'm in this also too for a sell. This one's gone a bit sideways. So again, stop somewhere down here. So still in profit. I'm able to move that. I mean, we could get a push back up and, you know, as I said, if I'm incapacitated or die, at least it comes back, it'll be in profit. And then, yeah, NZD USD. So NZD JPY, I'm not in the trade. Could be for buy, but just see NZD USD, I am in it. And that is basically where I got in back up here. It really needs a stop loss down here. And let me just see whether I have moved it. Yeah. So stop loss back down here would have been, if I had have moved it down on like yesterday down to here, I would have been stopped out with that spike. I just find once you're in the trade, and if you're really positive, if you're going to move your stop loss or stay in for a period of time, it's best to go to not the most recent high. You need to go like a couple back, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, the NZD, as you've been saying for a while, is just sort of dropping, and it's come down below where I thought it might actually start turning, but it's still going.
Yeah, and look, I have, and it's still red on the daily. Yeah. And the thing is, over the 6.5 years I've been trading, it's like there's been lots of pairs that I've been in trades. It's like, it's going to turn. Oh, it's hit, a 12-month low or high or whatever. Oh, it's going to turn. And it just keeps rocketing along. Just keeps going. And then at some point, it then does. Yeah, exactly, Glenn. Yes, exactly. It gives you the finger. And all these people, all these experts out there going, no, it's going to turn now. And it just keeps going. Oh, no, it's going to turn now. Oh, no. And they try to justify and give you all the reasons why it's going to turn, and it never does. And yes, it eventually will, but that's not the point. And with the trend, this trend bar, it's much easier to sort of identify when it does. And for example, if this is continuing down here, and if you get into a sell and it does turn and this turns green, you're going to lose a trade. So what? But then you're on the buys back up again. All right. NZD and AUD are on the mat at the moment, and they're being counted 1, 2, 3. You know, when you get like, yeah. And so they're still suffering from being sold out. And sure, they have little pull-ups, and because they're against other currencies. Overall, though, it's pushing down, and these pull-ups are opportunities to get into other trades. Yeah, as long as you're packing out your stop loss a bit and working from there. So NZD, okay, Singapore Japanese. That also too is overall more of a buy. It just depends though. It's coming up to an equal high from a market structure. Yeah. So just watch that. And yes, yeah, pullbacks and push back on this one. USD CAD, I don't tend to trade it. I don't like it. It's really choppy, tends to be choppy. But anyway, you can work out what you want to do with, what you want to do with that one. That I'm not in a buy, even though it is buying. I'll go back and just, I don't know why I did that. Maybe I did buy in a different color. I don't know. USD CHF is one that I would trade. Look at the 3 hour. I'm going to get rid of some of these things. Things on there everywhere. Right. And we've got other things going on here. I've got lines everywhere. Right. And if we're looking at that one at the moment, I think that's a stretchy one. So if I look there and we look at the daily, it's just turned red. But if you look at the 3 hour, I would not touch this purely because of this. Yeah. This is more likely
it's sitting in a block just now.
Absolutely. Yeah. It did break down there. So, there may be a sellout because it poked out below that previous low. Maybe that, but this is just news, so don't take that as any sort of.
That's December 20, isn't it? It's quite a low.
I'd actually push it to there, saying, "Look, let's see what happens with that one where it breaks out." But this is just from here, where like really back here from August the 2nd. It really, for so far this month, it's just really on the 3 hour gone sideways. Okay, UJ. And now this is climbing, right? And you look at it here, green, 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 it broke. And this is silly Brian here, should have got out of the sell. It came up, hit stop loss there, right? Just the way it is. Yeah. And I really should have noticed, well, I did notice the daily, but anyway. What you do and what you don't do. Interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, lost on that one. That's okay. Lick your wounds and come back and try again.
That was the one that bounced off my.
Off which?
I put a line in, but it dropped and then it's come back to it. Don't even count the line, but anyway, it's never stopped, is it? It's kept going.
Yeah, but the UJ from here, really from the 20th of July, yes, it's done that pullback there, but basically it's really just been pushing up. So, and at some point it's coming up to this previous high now. Yeah, if we put a line across there, turn that one yellow, that potentially is a point it may turn. It may break it or it may just bounce off it. Right, so if you're in a buy for that, then just monitor, that's all. See how you go. At the moment, it's at the top of the highest body. Right at that point now. Okay. What else have we got? USD and Singapore dollar. Oh my gosh, that's actually quite. I'll put that one in for a watch as well. There's a buy there. And then overall, you get the sells out. This has been in a longer term, well, since again, 21st of July, same sort of thing. Push back up, which would be somewhere over here. After that big drop down, what's it going to do? Come back up. So it'll either break the high over here, or it won't break the high and will start to go into a sell. Pretty basic. So it depends on what you're going to do. But with the ribbon, with the trend bar now, not the ribbon, like you either can decide to get in or out of the trade whenever the color changes. You remember, monitor it on the daily. Darren, you got any questions there? Or not? Yeah, it turns at the same time. That's exactly right. Where's gold? Oh, that's in the sell. Because as the US dollar increases in value, the gold will decrease in value. And yes, it does push-ups and pull back down. Goes to the gym. At the moment, it's in that sell. And overall, it's in a sell. So if you're going to take any gold trades, probably take sells at the moment. Or in the next, and know that it'll do a pull-up. It's normally doing one every 24 hours if you look at it, roughly. Okay. How's that seem? Any of that stuff tickle your fancy or not? Yeah? It's okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Lovely. So you can see some of these ones are going sideways. I would just keep at them until they start to move out of the box. If you're going to put a box on them, like this now even. Yeah. I mean, that means maybe it might be going into a buy direction when it gets going because of the push up. But, you don't know. It's just a sort of preemptive thing. And if you look at this, it's broken down past there and broken down past. Maybe it'll pull back down again. And because all the AUDs are weakened. And you got to remember, there's Alice's birthday POI. It still has to come down to, right?
It's not a loss yet. It's still there.
Oh, yeah, no, it's still there. That's right. The only thing is, if you had got any of the cells in here, this spike would have just been...
You'd be rinsed.
You'd be out. Yeah. And you cannot do anything about them. They're just turtle soup. They're just the way they are. Stop hunting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see how I go before the end of the trading week finishes. Some of these trades I might close out and then look at, why close out a trade that's in positive unless it's going to dramatically change? And maybe just pulling your stop loss down to the most previous or second previous high maybe is one of the strategies in this, and then taking other trades if you're going to continue in that sell direction. Yeah. Or buy. Doesn't really matter. So any questions, people? I hope Helen's son is okay. Dislocation is very painful.
I've been out doing jobs all day.
I think Helen's taken her son to A&E for a dislocated knee, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's what it said. So I hope everything's okay. Well, I think it was knee. That's what it said in the chat. Didn't she say? Yeah, dislocated his knee.
Yeah. Poor boy.
Yeah.
Fine.
I hope he's okay. All right. I think we've gone through all the pairs and gone through things. So whether you're in or not, I mean, I'm still in lots of trades and I'm taking new trades, and based upon the ribbon now, or not ribbon, the trend bar.
I've tried to watch the bit I missed, and I did a bit of it today, and I need to watch the whole
From the other day when Tom was on.
Yeah. I need to sit. I've got a job in a flat I'm sorting out, and I had it on in the background. Couldn't.
You can't. No.
It was like it became quite. I turned it off because it started to become annoying because I thought I can't concentrate on it.
Yeah, white noise in the background.
And I was watching to start, and then I had to carry on. Yeah, so I need to probably do it. And tomorrow is possible in bits.
Yeah,
it's a really good session.
Yeah, well, it was the last 24-hour. Sorry, we're now basically nearly in the last 24 hours of this trading week. So you can either observe or whatever you want, or you get out of trades before the weekend. With this strategy, I don't think you necessarily need to, but that's up to you. Whether you take trades at this time of the week, it's up to you as well. Anyway, a little bit of news coming out. We'll see how that affects things. What have I got to do today? Well, yesterday morning after the session, we moved 4 hives to a new location onto a trailer. So that was a bit busy. And then I was out dropped off the granddaughter at school. I was with the grandson, and then I got a call from somebody and said, a couple of the calves that we had just here were out next to the train line. So I went, so I was out, and so I spent most of the day repairing a bit of the fence where the creek comes into the property, and the cows had sort of pushed in under, because when you get a lot of water through, it pushes the fence up and out of the way. So the cows, some of the calves are going like, oh, look at this, ooh, we'll push in underneath. So the larger cows couldn't get through, but the calves, the smaller ones, were pushing out in underneath and walking up the side of the train line. So I had to get them back in again and then repair the sort of knit the fence back together again, which is all right. So that was. Got waders. Yeah. Gumboots we call them, but that's okay. Gumboots. Waders, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had to come back and get some. I forgot to put them in. That's all right. Yeah, so all repaired. Things are done. Yeah, life of a farmer, absolutely. Yeah, and nice. All of the ewes are all in lamb. So because of the breed we have, they don't come. We should be getting lambs from now until the middle to the end of September. So late August, start of September is where they normally all drop. So we'll see. You got? There's now a dozen. I've got a dozen ewes. So there'll probably be twins, and normally, I think last year out of 8, I think we had 13 lambs. So out of 12, there'll be whatever. Maybe it depends if they're many twins. Will probably more like 20 or so. We'll just see how we go. Anyway, the price for lambs is not that high at the moment, so people aren't paying much in a minute. They were high. Anyway, so there's that. I don't know what else. Other bits and pieces to do. So I'll come back in. I think I've got to drop a grandson and I'll drop the granddaughter stuff at school this morning. I'll come back, feed chooks, and then I'll come back and look at the charts for a bit and see where we're at with things, whether I need to change any of the trades or not. Okay, yeah, and I'll notify. Have a good sleep, Alistair. Thanks for being here, Darren. You're right there. Where do I find the trend? Oh, okay, sorry. So, Darren, where do you find the trend bar? If you go, let me just share here. If you go to Discord, in under here where there is a thing called Relax Strategy. If you go to updated settings, you can have a look at it just there. Yeah, that's sort of the latest video of that. And if I go quickly back here, Darren, it is under indicators and it is under, oh, what's it called again?
You've got CM, you've gone past it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, by Chris Moody, CM EMA trend bars. Right, that one. And I've just got it in my favorites, so I can go to favorites. So that's what the trend bar, you got it there, 1, and the settings is 7, ticked for show the EMA, and these colors here have opacity up at 100, both of them, and ticked on the bar color, and then just save it as default. Right, that's the setting just for that one, and then it'll change the color of the candles from that perspective. Okay, where are we? Back to chat. Okay, no worries. All right. Until next week, I plan to be on just before the market opens next week. Have a good weekend. And isn't it great that we don't trade on the weekend? Have a bit of a rest, relax, look at whatever's going on. Might give you time to look at that video, Alistair. We'll see how you go.
I will try.
All right, then. Till next time.
Cheers.
Take it
Thanks,
easy.
everybody. Ciao.
Ciao.